Okay, so number 47, quadratic formula again. So x equals the opposite of b, which would be negative 4, plus and minus the square root of b squared, or 4 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 5, times c, which is negative 3. All divided by 2 times a, which is 5. So work out that discriminant first. Type that in your calculator. Be sure you put parentheses around 4. Square it, minus 4 times 5 times negative 3. You'll get 76. Then type in just the numerator as it is first. Hit enter. Then hit divided by 10. So negative 4 plus the square root of 76, enter. Divided by 10, enter. And you've got x equals 0.472. Do it again. But instead type negative 4 minus the square root of 76, hit enter, divided by 10, and you get x equals negative 1.272. So I'm looking for those two answers. I see them here on B. Those are my two solutions. 48, find the vertex. You have a vertex question. You gotta remember vertex formula. We did that last week. We were learning about quadratics. So x equals opposite b divided by 2a. If you forget the vertex formula, it's really easy to remember it. You just take the quadratic formula, which we did up here. Take the quadratic formula, cross off everything that had plus and minus the square root, and you see x equals opposite b divided by 2a. That's your vertex formula. So just take that off and you have vertex. Okay. All right, so b is 8, so the opposite of b is negative 8, divided by 2 times a. Well, a is 1. 2 times 1 is just 2, so you have negative 8 divided by 2. You can type that in your calculator or something that's simple you can do in your head. X equals negative 4. So that's the x value. You also need the y value. So we get that by plugging it back in. Y equals x squared, or negative 4 squared, plus 8 times negative 4 minus 10. So y equals, be sure you group everything in parentheses there as you do it. And then the answer that you get back is going to be negative 26. And I know we went through this in class. We said there was an error on this problem. None of those were correct. So just on the real final, it's fine. But on this one, none of them were correct. So just careful there whenever you're looking at these, because I know you could have gotten that and thought, well, what's going on? But we did talk about that one in class. So your x value is negative 4, your y value is negative 26. You would want to look for that in your answers and choose the correct option. Okay, 49, graph. We learned the only way to graph is first start with finding the vertex, and then you'll make a table. So your table needs to have a few points, but your vertex needs to go right there in the center of your table. You need points on either side because these are symmetric. So to find your vertex, we have x equals opposite b divided by 2a, or opposite b, opposite negative 4 is positive 4, divided by 2a, well, a is 2, so that's 4 divided by 2 times 2, which is 4, or x equals 1. So on the table that you're going to be making here, from my vertex point, I know my x value is 1. To find the y value, you plug that back in. So 2 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 minus 1, or negative 3. So my y value is negative 3. So my vertex is the point 1, negative 3. I'm going to go ahead and look for that here. Here's the vertex. That's at the point negative 4, 1. It doesn't match, so that can't be my graph. Here's this vertex. It's at the point 1, 4. It doesn't match my graph. That can't be it. Here's a vertex at 2, negative 2. It doesn't match that vertex. That can't be it. Here's the vertex at the point 1, negative 3. That does match, but just to make sure you didn't make any mistakes, find a couple more points. So I'm going to go one after it and one before it. So one before it is 0, one after it is 2. And I'm going to plug those in to find my y values. So y equals 2 times x squared, or 0 squared, minus 4 times x, or 0, minus 1. Let's try that one. That's all 0, that's all 0. You're left with y equals -1, and you can just type that all into your calculator at once. So there's that. Now let's try the 2. Y equals 2 times 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 1. So if you type that all into your calculator, you're also going to get -1. And I can see here how it's symmetric as it should be. So 0, -1 is here. 2, -1 is here, and I can see my points are matching up. My answer is definitely D. All right, very last problem, number 50. One more to graph. Find the vertex again, x equals opposite b divided by 2a. The opposite b would be -2 divided by 2 times a, which is -1. -2 is in the numerator. Work out the denominator before you try to divide it. 2 times -1 is -2. And -2 divided by -2 is 1. So the x value for my vertex is going to be 1. Okay, so that's my vertex x value. My equation up here at the top, y equals -x squared plus 2x. I'm going to write that out. I'm going to plug in a 1. You can type that into your calculator and you're going to get +1 back. So that's the y value. Go 1 before it and 1 after it. So going to 2 and a 0. And you might need more points than this. We're just going to try a few. So for 0, we have -(0) squared plus 2 times 0. You type that into your calculator, you get 0. Go to the 2 now. Try that one. Y equals (2 squared plus 2 and in parentheses 2. So that's going to give me a 0. And if what you've done is correct and your vertex point is correct, these should match up as you go out. Okay, so let's see if this is enough to match up my graph. I have the point 0, 0. Okay, I see that here. I have the point 1, 1. I see that here. And I have the point 2, 0. I see that here. Don't have those points here. Don't have those points here. Don't have those points here. So I see my answer is